welcome to Political Hour here at VMTV, channel 14.6. I'm your host, Cory Stevens.
And my name is Cory Johnson.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a lot of ground to cover in regards to the big election day, November 3rd. We are finally here, and man, it's going to be tough.
It's a big day, folks. We got a lot of emotions going on. We got a lot of energy going on. There's anxiety, a little chaos. There's some optimism, kind of a combination of all three of those going on. What do you think?
I think that you have covered all the bases when it comes to the emotional roller coaster that the Americans have had when it comes to this election. We always hear that this is going to be the most important election in your lifetime. But this time, I think it may be true. Some people say that we are in a lot of turmoil here in America. Our unemployment rate is the highest that it's ever been. We have a lot of people that have died due to this pandemic, COVID-19. It's been a lot. It's been a lot for America, for the world. So this election is very important. And we're going to talk about what's happening here in California with our numbers, as we most likely know how it's going to end here in California. But we're also going to take a look at some swing states. Pennsylvania is really big. Right now, we were just discussing how yesterday both candidates were actually in Pennsylvania. One brought star power. We're going to see if that helps him.
Yep.
Another one, he showed up, and of course, he's really big on his Twitter, and he's like, big crowd. I'm happy.
That's
so
right.
we don't know what's to come, but they are both making their way around, aren't they, Cory?
They are. Actually, they've been traveling 3 to 5 states per day to make sure they're getting in what they need to do for this big day today. So that's a lot of travel. It's a lot of going, from state to state, going around. So yeah, it's a lot happening.
And a lot of people have said, well, you know what? Are you going to come see us? We don't want any states to feel like the neglected child.
Right.
And unfortunately, that happened in the last election. For example, Wisconsin, we had Hillary Clinton. She failed to visit, and it did not work out for her.
Right.
So this time around, Joe Biden said, I'm going to go to Wisconsin. He wanted to see the people. He wanted to make sure that he was there, shaking hands, holding babies, kissing babies, whatever they do. And he's making it a point to be seen and be heard, as well as Trump. Trump is always heavy on his social media, and if it's okay, can I share what he mentioned?
Absolutely.
So we're going to get a little social, because I know some of our viewers here in the Orange County area, some are really big on news, but some get their news from social media. And some are very connected with the president because he is heavily connected to his social media, as well as VP Joe Biden. So we have Trump. He sent out a tweet, and it reads, "My American Dream Plan is a promise to Hispanic Americans." So this is actually for the Hispanic voter. That my dream for you is to fuel a thriving economy, provide education, opportunity for all, preserve freedom, and support faith, family, and community. And I said, okay, that's not bad. It seems as if, not only did he tweet this, but if you go on President Trump's YouTube channel, he does have a new campaign ad with some very Latin music in the background.
I did see it.
See that?
Yeah. Briefly, I did.
And we love music here at VMTV, so we have a little surprise for you at the very end of Political Hour that I think you're going to like. So stick around for that.
Stay tuned.
Now, Biden actually tweeted as well. And this was fairly new. He said, here's the truth. Donald Trump inherited a growing economy from President Obama and me. And just like everything else he's inherited in life, he squandered it. And I said, whoa, those sound like fighting words, I don't know what you guys feel, if you feel that President Trump's tweet or Joe Biden's, if there's any truth, if they're genuine on either, but let us know your thoughts. Trump went on to say on another tweet, As Christians throughout the great county celebrate All Souls Day, let's remember those who went before us to build this great nation. May the legacy inspire us as we keep our nation what it has already been, blessed and great. Now, of course, Joe Biden, he also took to Twitter again, and he said, Donald Trump is the most corrupt president in modern history. Donald Trump is the most racist president in modern history. Donald Trump is the worst jobs president in modern history. Why would we give him another 4 years? Now, we are reading their latest tweet. So we did not pick and choose what we thought would be best or what is more salacious. Nothing like that. But this was their most common or the earliest tweet that they put out. So let us know your thoughts on that. That is the closing in of Let's Get Social. Please, we want you to get social with us here at BMTV. Here at Political Hour, if you have thoughts, if you tweet something, put hashtag Political Hour. And we would love to share it, possibly here on the show. Now, Cory, there have been a lot of numbers going up and down. A lot of states where we could see who is red, who is blue. Things are even changing. So could you give us some stats on that?
Absolutely. So as of today, we are almost hitting the 100 million mark. It's going to be close. It's probably going to exceed over 100 million as of today, as of the big day. And that's half of what it was in 2016.
Wow.
So yesterday, it was 93,800,000 Americans that went in early and got the votes in. And it's looking like it's going to be over 100 million now.
People are serious.
Yeah,
about
this is literally over half of what it was in 2016. And why do you think it's so different now? I think a lot of it has to do with advertisements, and
a lot of people feel like this is a win-lose decision for the American economy.
Right.
When it comes to race, when it comes to finance, they feel like we must make a decision. And so some people, the last election, they felt like, oh, it's not a big deal. They were very certain that one particular candidate was going to win.
Sure.
But there was one candidate that came out that was very different. He was very set apart from the other candidates. He wasn't a politician. And he took it home. He is President Trump. And so I think a lot of people, whether you are for Trump, they feel we have his back. We are going to support him. We are going to make it to the polls. And then there are some that oppose him, Cory, and they say, you know what? There is no way that we are going to allow him to be in office another 4 years. So I think on both sides that there is a desperation, that they have the tenacity to make sure that he either stays or he either goes. And I think that's why the numbers are higher.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's a sense of urgency for both sides to go out and do this, and that's why I think there's optimism, there's anxiety, there's a little bit of chaos, and a mixture, like I said before.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot going on right now. So all we can do is hope for the best, but definitely go out and vote and make sure that your voice is heard and that you're right, and also in that right, make sure you respect.
Absolutely.
So,
Cory, did you hear what happened in Pennsylvania?
I don't, there's so much information. What took place?
They've been visiting everywhere, and President Trump, he took to Pennsylvania, as did Biden, but one had star power.
That's right.
One had Lady Gaga. We love Lady Gaga, don't we? And he also had Kamala Harris, his VP choice. And she came with a huge star power, John Legend.
Oh, yeah.
And his wife, Christy Teigen. So I know they brought the celebrity power. We don't know if that's going to help as we continue to watch the numbers. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, okay? But Trump, I don't think he had any celebrity power. I think he showed up and said, I'm enough.
I think he just put out a tweet and put out some other social media information, but there's a lot of supporters, and so he definitely had those numbers. So it's really back and forth. Back and forth,
huge turnout. And if you watch the video from yesterday, the crowd was there. They were excited. They were pumped. Joe Biden's crowd, they looked a little sleepy. Looked like they needed some coffee. And I know Trump likes to call Joe Biden Sleepy Joe. It's so funny, but so rude.
Yeah,
And
it is.
I just wish that we could all be adults about the whole nature of politics in the election. But sometimes there is so much tension, and I know we talked about that sometimes a light joke isn't so bad. I
Yeah.
don't know. What do you guys think? Do you feel like there's no rooms for jokes or humor when it comes to politics? Or do you feel like, yeah, we could take it? What do you think?
I think that there is some sense of humor that can be put into, all the talks, but sometimes the lines can be crossed.
Absolutely.
On both sides. So it's not just one side, it's both sides that can happen. So, yeah.
I agree. Now, when we take a look at the states, we understand that Pennsylvania is a swing state, all right? So it is imperative that they both try to win. We don't know if it's who it's going to pin out for. We are still looking at the numbers, but I know when we take a look at Georgia and Florida normally Republican. They normally, but as we saw the numbers, it is actually blue right now.
Yeah,
And-
it is. Well,
yeah.
as long as they're in Arizona, Iowa, Minnesota, Nevada, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. But Pennsylvania, this is where the fight's coming in, and
Yeah.
they're in the ring. They're in the ring.
Yeah, because when you take a look at Pennsylvania, it's a little unique. They have two centers, a huge African American population, and then we have a lot of older Caucasian members, So when we take a look at age, race, sometimes it's hard to do this, but sometimes that show if you're African American, most likely you are going to vote blue. If you are older and Caucasian, most likely you are going to vote red.
Right.
But they are both in it for the fight, as we saw yesterday, whether it was celebrity power or just showing up with a tweet. So we don't know what's going to happen, but they are in a fight for their life.
Yeah, it's a big deal. The other two states that have been the two congressional districts, as well as Pennsylvania, has been Maine and Nebraska. Those are two huge states that have gone back and forth now. So it's not just Pennsylvania; it's those three states. But I think Pennsylvania is what's happening. So
we shall see. And you know what? It's kind of hard to say that if this president wins this state, they're going to take it all.
right,
Now, we know what happened the last election.
exactly.
The popular vote voted for Hillary Clinton, but the power of the Electoral College trumped it all. So we could say that if they win this particular state, that's it. That's enough. It is not enough, and we have to remember that. So I really feel that it's antiquated, and then it's time
Yeah.
to actually get it out of here. Those are my thoughts. Let us know what your thoughts are. But I truly feel that if the people have spoken, let it be. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So you know what, Cory? Maybe I will start a protest or some type of policy or bill to get in action to remove it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely a goal. That's for sure.
Maybe, because I think that during this time we should all be involved some way. We have a lot of friends to the station here at VMTV, and a lot of them are, creating their own parades, whether it's for one particular candidate, and some of them are actually out there in the streets, actually they're running for a political office to make a difference. So I think that we should all have some part in what we're doing for change.
Yep, exactly.
That's just my thought.
And the other thing is that, we have all the mail-in ballots. So if you have 100 million today, which we both think it's going to exceed that,
Absolutely.
you still have all of the mail-in ballots, which could take another few days, up to maybe a week. So we might not know for a little bit still what's going to happen. It is a lot. So
I mean, can you imagine, you guys? And then it was rumored that President Trump said that if he does lose, he will not leave the White House, So as we wait, as Cory just mentioned, 2 days, 3 days, 4, maybe 7 whole days until we have the final results. And sometimes, Cory, one candidate will concede. Before all the counts are in and it's looking like, it's going towards Cory. Oh, no, it's going towards Lakora. Cory may grow, defeated. And he says, I concede. I don't think either of them will concede.